When Ryse Son of Rome was announced at E3 2013, it showed off the power of the upcoming Xbox One. Being developed by Crytek, the same group behind the technical masterpiece Crysis series, there was a lot to be excited for. It immediately impressed visually, however, its repetitive gameplay and rather short campaign had it showered with mediocre to negative reviews. But in 2021, Ryse Son of Rome can be bought on Steam for just $10, and even under $5 when it's on sale, and it's also playable on Xbox Game Pass. So is it worth revisiting or playing for the first time today, given its much fairer price point? In Ryse Son of Rome, you play as Marius, a Roman general leading the defense of Rome against the oncoming Celtic barbarians. Marius helps secure the Roman Emperor Nero in a private safe room. And the Emperor's behest, he begins to tell his story, and the rest of the game is an extended flashback depicting Marius' adventures up to this point. Marius begins explaining his story as a soldier, serving in a relatively peaceful legion, holding a post in Alexandria. He returns home to his family and enjoys the adulation from his father. Marius' visit is cut short, however, as a barbarian invasion takes place, resulting in the death of his parents and his younger sister. Impressed by his fighting skills, Marius is picked up by Commander Vitalian, a friend of his father's, who immediately transfers him to his 14th Legion and promises Marius vengeance for his murdered family. Vitalian leads the Legion to Britain, where the fleet is ambushed off of the coast. Marius leads the counterattack, nearly single-handedly preventing the destruction of the remainder of the fleet, impressing Vitalian enough to earn a promotion to Centurion. And I'll avoid going any further so as not to spoil the rest of the campaign, but I can say it does take some interesting turns that lead it down a much darker and grander path than just a simple revenge quest. The combat plays very similar to the Arkham series. Enemies will circle around you, and you can bounce back and forth between them while you build up a combo meter. You can slash, roll, block, and use your shield to push opponents. If you hold the shield button or the slash button, you'll perform a heavy attack that can break almost any opponent's blocks. And once you've hurt an enemy enough, you can perform an execution move. All of the execution moves are absolutely brutal. You'll find yourself just shredding enemies, stabbing them through the face, throat, cutting off their arms, curb stomping them, cracking their skulls with your shield. It is brutal, but in a good way. It walks a very fine line of being just exciting enough to not be too over the top, though still stylish enough to make each kill still feel satisfying. As you progress, you'll unlock new executions, and there are even a few that will coincide with the environment around you, like kicking enemy into spikes, flames, or off a wall. Unfortunately, though, the environment detection will sometimes have you perform a normal execution in areas where there should be more environmental execution, so they sometimes can just feel sort of random when they happen. Executions are easy enough to pull off, as the enemy will flash a color that corresponds with the attack and shield command, and you are rated based upon your timing, though even a bad rating won't ruin your combo, so it can keep the flow of battle going. Enemy variety gets added at a decent pace, so you'll feel equipped to take on each new type of enemy. I just wish they would have included some different character models, so I'm not killing the same fat bearded barbarian over and over and over again, even if it is gloriously brutal each time. Outside of combat, there are sections where you have to move forward in a line of soldiers and create a shield wall in order to stop oncoming arrows. There are sections where you use a scorpion bolt that works sort of like a machine gun, where you'll take on waves of enemies and blow up barrels or knock down pots of fire as you stop waves of oncoming soldiers. And towards the end of the game, there's even war elephants that will charge you in these scorpion bolt sections, and these do breathe a bit of life into the gameplay, but since they are about the only alternatives to the standard swordplay, they can feel a bit old towards the end of the campaign. Though, even with repetitive gameplay, because of the pace of the story and the constant change in scenery, the game had me on the edge of my seat my entire first playthrough. There's collectibles throughout the stages as well, and given how linear the stages are, it's pretty obvious where you can find them. And these will let you unlock some concept art and some extra experience points, but I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about them, considering you can entirely skip them and still be maxed out by the end of the campaign. And with the story moving at such a tense pace, it feels weird knowing that Rome is literally burning and I'm over here smashing vases and trying to find concept art. Visually, the game is still a spectacle to look at for a game that came out in 2013. It still looks amazing today. The character animations, the cutscenes, even the world itself. For an incredibly linear game, there were several places where I just stopped to look at the world, and I think it looks best when you're in Rome. Each level has huge set pieces, and the voice work and character interactions in the cutscenes are all done extremely well. They all come across as believable and make you root or hate them almost immediately when they come on screen.
Go, Marius! I'll hold them off until the ship is clear.
No! You have to go! You must live! The Senate will listen to you. You're a commander, they have to! Now go!
Playing Ryse of Rome on PC takes an already great looking game from 2013 and makes it look even better. It does support high resolution monitors with settings for shadows, shaders, and even the quality of animations. My AMD RX 5700 ran it without any issues at 1440p, and I would imagine even a graphics card that's a few years old should run this game fine, considering it did come out in 2013. Though I can imagine playing it on the Xbox Series X or Xbox One X should still be better looking than the experience playing it on the original Xbox One, but even that still looked great for 2013 standards. And the best part of Ryse in 2021 is its ease of access. Being only $10 on Steam or on Game Pass, it's much easier to come to terms with playing a game with a roughly 5-hour campaign when you're not spending $60 for the experience. So, in conclusion, yes, it is absolutely worth replaying or checking out for the first time in 2021.
If you like this episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button or check out our podcast on iTunes or come hang out on Twitch. We'll see you next time, and as always, thanks for watching.